There are pros to starting your Airbnb business with the purchasing strategy versus the subleasing strategy. And depending on your goals and your finances, that will determine which one you should get started with. In today's video, I'm going to break down the pros and cons of subleasing and purchasing. But before we do, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. What's up, guys? My name is Jorge Contreras, and I am currently doing over $150K a month completely on autopilot. And let's go into these two strategies and the pros and cons. Here we go. So first, let's talk about the 5 benefits of owning real estate. Now, here's the truth, guys. I am a big believer that everyone's goal should be to own as much real estate in the long term, because that is how you create long-term wealth. And 90% of all millionaires have been created through specifically owning real estate. Now, the second truth is most people are not in a position to go and buy multiple properties right now because maybe their capital is limited. And therefore, subleasing is a great way to get your feet wet, and we will dive into that in just a few minutes. So first, let's break down the 5 main benefits of owning real estate. Number 1 is your cash flow. This is your monthly profit after all expenses. Number 2 is your appreciation. This is the increase in value over time. For example, imagine you bought a property today for $700,000, but in 5 years, that property could be worth $1 million. And then in 10 years, maybe 1.4, like double of what you paid, just as an example. Well, by owning the real estate, you also get all that appreciation, the increase in value. There is a second type of appreciation, and this is called forced appreciation. Imagine you purchased a property that needed a lot of work, so you bought it, you upgraded the windows, paint, floor, baseboards, crown molding, maybe you had to do some upgrades to the electrical or plumbing. So once it's fully renovated, the property is worth way more than when you purchased it. So if you bought it the way it was, right, needing a lot of work, maybe it was $700,000. And maybe you put in $100,000 to get it into top-notch condition. So now you're all in $800,000. But because of the equity, the appreciation that you forced by adding the value, maybe now it's worth like $875,000 or $900,000. So now you would have some extra equity, right? So you got natural market appreciation and forced appreciation. The third benefit of owning real estate is something called depreciation. It simply means that you can write off the physical building over 27 and a half years, making some or all of your cash flow tax-free. The fourth benefit is mortgage pay down. This is when other guests are paying down your mortgage because of the Airbnb revenue, only increasing your equity and net worth. And the fifth and final benefit of owning real estate is taxes, right? You get a lot of tax benefits by 1, being a business owner, but 2, you get even more benefits when you are a business owner, specifically in the real estate industry. So those are the 5 main benefits. Now let's talk about some of the challenges when it comes to owning real estate. Again, most people, their primary goal when getting into the short-term rental business is they want to replace their 9-to-5 income with cash flow, with passive income from Airbnb. And let's say they're making $6,000 a month, just as a simple example. Well, in that case, they're going to need 2 to 3 Airbnbs to replace that 9-to-5 so they can be financially free. Because remember, financially free is when your passive income, the money you make in your sleep, meets or exceeds your monthly living expenses. So if your monthly expenses are $6K, 2 to 3 Airbnbs, when executed correctly, can potentially replace that 9-to-5 income. Now, how many people right now are in a position to go and buy 2 to 3 properties? Probably a very small percentage of people. It's going to take hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, a lot of people are in a position to go and sublease 2 to 3 properties, or start with 1, reinvest the profits, and 4 to 6 months later, take the profits from the first one and boom, launch the second one, and then rinse and repeat and create a snowball effect. But again, that's probably the biggest challenge, is limited funds when starting with the purchasing strategies. Now let's talk about some of the benefits of starting with the arbitrage model, the subleasing strategy where we rent properties, get permission in writing, and then launch them on Airbnb. But before we do, make sure you guys hit that like button, as it truly helps my YouTube channel grow and helps me get my content in front of more people who want to create financial freedom with Airbnb without owning real estate. So I appreciate you guys in advance for smashing that like button. So one of the biggest benefits is, again, no down payments, no closing costs. All you need for subleasing is you pay the first month and the rent, just like when you normally rent a property to live in, but your additional expenses, of course, all the furniture to make the property look top notch so you can attract the most amount of guests into your Airbnb rather than other properties. So with the same amount of money that you would buy one property, let's say $50K, you could sublease 3 properties with that same amount of money. So again, if you buy one, let's say you make $2K a month of profit, or sublease 3 and make $6K a month of profit. But this strategy, subleasing, allows you to replace your 9-to-5 income and become financially free. Once you have 3 to 5, boom, then you start accelerating and growing your capital fast to then go and buy real estate and create long-term wealth and take advantage of those 5 benefits. Now, to clarify, the subleasing strategy is strictly a cash flow play. What do I mean by that? Well, when you are subleasing, you don't get the equity, the appreciation, the depreciation, the mortgage paid down. You only get some tax benefits, but not all of them, because you don't get the depreciation, but you do get the tax benefits of being a real estate investor and a business owner, but not the depreciation from the physical building. So again, you get some of the tax benefits and you get all of the cash flow. But the biggest thing is really all the cash flow, because if your primary goal is to replace a 9-to-5, there's no question about it, subleasing is the way to go. And I always tell my students, guys, look, start with subleasing, replace your 9-to-5 income. That's phase 1. And phase 2 is create long-term wealth. So subleasing is a strategy that can help you get to the point where then you can start buying real estate and creating long-term wealth. So now that I shared the pros and cons, what do you guys think? What's the best strategy to start in the Airbnb business? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and reply to your comments. All right, guys, if you want some help and you want to avoid the common pitfalls, the common mistakes that most new Airbnb hosts make, I invite you to click on the link down below where you can schedule a free 15-minute consultation with my team to see if the Real System can help you build your Airbnb empire without owning real estate. Make sure you guys also check out my Instagram at @thejorgecontreras. I post every single day, multiple times a day. And I also have a podcast, The Jorge Contreras Show, on iTunes and Spotify. Before you guys go anywhere, make sure you guys check out one of my other videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one.